Hey guys, Fort Mac here. I just wanted to show you guys this video. It's in regards to battery install into a XR650R from 2000 and up. Originally these bikes do not come with a battery. The small headlight, which is ridiculously dim for how fast this bike can be, and the taillight does not require a lot of wattage or amperage to light them, so it's more than enough for the stock stator to handle. Now you can get upgraded stators, but I haven't found out if this bike is equipped with one or not. When we look into it, but if it doesn't, I will be installing one. But the original owner who converted it to Supermoto installed this little battery here, which did the job if you had it fully charged all the time and you didn't let it run down too low and you were driving it often. Now for the last couple of months it's been sitting in my garage and friends have come over and check it out, so I started, let it idle, turned lights on, and with that it just couldn't keep up with the demand and killed it a couple times. So I went for the inspection, it failed, and instead of trying to find another battery like this, I decided let's just go with a bigger battery. That way there I can eventually install an aftermarket electric start onto this bike. Now again, they never did come with electric start, so in order to do that, it actually requires the replacement of your left crankcase. Now that's a pretty big job, so I'm probably just going to stick with the kickstart for now. Now on my 2002 model, the connecting rod failed on me. The thrust bearings let go, and which required me to have to replace it, of course, so I went with a Falcon connecting rod kit. And for this new bike I have, it's a 2000. It's low kilometer, so I'm not sure if the last owner had swapped that out or not. But if this so happens to explode on me, or not explode, just lock up on me, I will at that time probably consider doing the electric start, because I got to tear it apart anyway. Let's do the upgrade. This is the little holder he had for it. Now this setup that he has here does not work with the factory air box. So if you got an aftermarket air filter set up, this could potentially work for you in the location that he has it. Now this here in the bike, you can see now I don't have my air box. Usually it comes out here, curves in around, and back to your air filter or carburetor. So he had that sitting right here. Wasn't secured, but once you get the seat down, you can see that the seat did sit on it, so it secured it, and he had this rubber here to protect the powder coating. This works great, but again, just wasn't enough. I wanted something with a bit more life in it. So a friend of mine has a 2010 KTM 500 dual purpose electric start, so I figured this would be the perfect candidate. Now the issue is, there's two locations I could have put this. The one location would have been, again, remove the air box. I'd have to take this filter I have here now and place it out here. I don't like that design, so I decided not to do that. But if I did, I could set my battery in here. I just have to relocate a few things here to make room for it. And you can still run most of your rear fender and all your rear mounts, which would work good for off-road versions, because with the setup that I decided to go with, as you can see, there's a big hole here for you XR owners. Right now I just have my two mounting bolts back here on the end of the subframe, but eventually, well, here soon, I'm going to install just a round button top bolt just to secure it there and make a little detent in my battery box that I built, which I'll show you here now. So what I used was just a little chunk of aluminum, the width of the battery and the length, the required length that I needed to wrap around the battery and to have my little lips for support. So here's the final product that I got done. The only thing it's missing is a bottom isolator, just a rubber stick-on foam. To make my bends, all I did was take my grinder and I just made a little notch on the inside of the bend, which made it much easier to make the bend, as well as to make it as square as possible bend. Now what I recommend doing, which I'm going to do, is right where you made your notch on each bend, just have some tacks of weld put in. That way there, the vibration isn't going to eventually break it, because it's like a one-time bend. You try to do it twice, it's going to break on you. So yeah, so I got that built. Battery fits nice and snug. Down in here, yeah. There you go. Looks nice, nice and clean. I decided just to keep the aluminum look. I was thinking about painting it, but we'll go ahead and slide it down in the spot here. Now, I don't have it physically attached to the bike. The seat itself has 3 little protrusions on it here and 1 here. So I just had it so when the seat come down, it would lock it into place. Doesn't wiggle around at all. Battery stays nice and firm. 2 cables come out in between where the seat has that little space on each side of the protrusion. As you can see here, there's the 3 here, and there's that other one. So sitting it down in the spot, the seat fits nice and snug over top of it. Right here is where I'll be putting 2 little mounts, and all my wiring harnesses will attach there in a nice little bundle. As you can see here, it kind of hangs down a little bit, but for my application this works great. I run a stiff spring, 250 pound IBOC rated spring, or 250 pound rated spring. This way here, there's not very often it's going to reach that height. Now in my 2000 dirt version, it would absorb the bumps like crazy, and even the slightest bump would cause it to compress quite a bit. But in this application, works great. Anybody else, you're guaranteed to probably connect with it. The only way to really find out is to actually remove your spring and actually do a nice compression check, or just remove the shock altogether. A bit of work, but it's worth it. I went and installed a master kill switch for the battery. Just ran it on the ground circuit. You can do it on either circuit, positive or ground. I always prefer ground, because if anything happens to the wiring, it's better for a ground to find a ground than a power to find a ground. Here is the 2 amp trickle charger plug. It's fused with a 3 amp fuse. It runs up again to the ground side, or to the positive and ground. What I might do is isolate the bike from that circuit, because right now when I hit the kill switch, it actually kills the power in the circuit for that charger. So I think I might bypass that and have it so with the kill switch off, I can still charge the battery and nothing will draw from it. Like for example, my vapor gauge, when you turn it on, it actually stays on for like 10 minutes. Now I'm going to see if the owner has the original instructions for this, because I have no idea how to use it. But that's nothing to do with this topic. Well, here's the final product, all assembled, ready to go. All I gotta do now is throw my seat on and go for a ride here, hopefully soon. Well, I hope you guys found this useful. If anyone was interested in installing a battery, I'm sure there's many other ways you could do it. This is just the way I decided to do it, and what was best for my bike and my application. And I'm sure it'll work good for some other guys that are out there. Anyway guys, you have a good one, and we'll hopefully be on the road and you'll be watching some of my crazy riding.